Brent from Voyageur, you were discussing this morning that barite prices are up 40–50%. Is that correct?
Yeah, for pharmaceutical grade barium sulfate has gone up significantly. For example, we were landing barite at our facility in Calgary for $7,300 a ton Canadian back in just a few months back, and now it's gone up to over $10,000 Canadian a ton. So it's rising. There's supply constraints, and it's the geopolitical world we live in is really driving this whole supply chain issues that everybody's facing.
Of course, for those of you out there who may not be familiar with barite, barite is a critical mineral controlled by the Chinese. Would you say that is correct, Brent?
Yeah, well, it's a critical mineral in the U.S. 80% dependent on imports, I believe, is the number. It may have gone up. I'm not sure, but yeah, China, India is another big supplier. It's because barite has so many different grades. So the main use is oil field. That's the U.S. imports from China, India, Morocco, and a little bit out of Turkey, I think. So when it comes to pharmaceutical grade, there's only one source that we found that is acceptable for FDA and Health Canada. That's out of China. China only allowed to export 5% of their pharmaceutical grade barium sulfate. And that's why we're moving forward with our Francis Creek deposit, which is in the ground pharmaceutical grade. It's very unique, it's the only other deposit we know of is in China. So that's what makes Francis Creek so unique, is that it's high purity.
And of course, that's what makes Voyageur so incredibly unique. From earth to the bottle, you have two products. You have the barium contrast and iodine contrast, and you've announced several big deals. How about we start with the one in Latin America announced earlier this week?
Sure. We're moving forward, signing on distribution companies to distribute our products out throughout the global market. And Latin America is one of our main targets. It's got a very high population, and there are shortages of barium contrast in Latin America. And so we're just moving forward with signing on distribution companies so that we would when we start shipping our barite with a third-party manufacturer, goes to their facilities and they distribute out to their markets. It's very streamlined for us, so we're effectively a wholesaler. And as we get Francis Creek into production, then our margins will go up, and we'll already have our established supply chain going out to these markets. So we're going to continue to just keep adding more and more distribution companies throughout Latin America and throughout all the countries that accept Health Canada as licensed products for their countries.
In our last interview, you were talking about the success you just had with Canadian distribution. How is that going?
It's going good. So products are currently going through the evaluation phase. We're talking with provincial healthcare authorities, with private clinics. We have a small production batch that's being completed here over the next month, and then we have a larger production batch being scheduled in to be produced in August. And from there, that's where you'll start seeing more and more sales being announced and contracts being announced.
Well, and on that note, what are your plans for the American market?
So we're moving forward with FDA. So our goal is to be submitting by the end of the year, and under the 505 2B pathway, or B2. I get that wrong all the time, but it's a drug pathway that allows us to introduce a new product that's been improved with where there's existing products in the market. So we don't have to go through any human trials or anything like that. It's a 6-month process to get licensed. And our goal is to be selling in Q4 of next year into the U.S. market, which is a large lucrative market for us.
You also put news out on Monday about your iodine product. Can you give us some more information on that deal?
Yeah, so we're focused in the Anadarko Basin in Oklahoma. We've been sampling wells. We have wells identified that we can produce from, and we've been working on. We're a group with some excellent technology that have units out working in the field currently. They can extract iodine into a very high pure crystalline form, and we're looking at building a 200-ton pilot plant with them. And from there, selling that I2 to current pharmaceutical companies that need it to make iodine contrast. And at the same time, we're going to be building out a pharmaceutical facility, probably located in northern Texas, and build out our whole iodine side of our project. So as a radiology drug company, iodine makes up 4.3 billion of the global market. It's a very lucrative market to be in. There are major supply issues going on with iodine. GE Healthcare has tied up the majority of the world's supply, and all the other major companies are scrambling. So we believe that becoming the first iodine drug producer in the U.S., we will be able to secure that supply chain for the U.S. North American market and be able to produce our own iodine at low cost. So when you can produce your own iodine, there's more than just the I2 that goes into making a drug. There's all other different compounds that you have to import, usually from India, that are iodine APIs that go into making an iodine drug, and they're very expensive. Like we're talking over $100 a ton. And for Voyageur to go in and be able to make all our different iodine compounds that are required to manufacture drugs, we're looking at a 50% reduction in our manufacturing costs and creating a secure supply chain, low cost, highly profitable business in the U.S.
And of course, I'm almost afraid to ask you this question. I mean, you're putting out 2 news releases that are both substantial in one day. What should shareholders be looking forward to in the upcoming quarter?
Well, we're moving forward with discussions with multinationals. They're very keen on the iodine project, also the barium. So we have a lot of interest in what we're doing. So our vertical integration strategy is resonating with the big pharma people. Supply chain issues are global issues. So what we're doing, we believe is going to have some major milestones coming up here that are really going to see our stock appreciate in great ways. So, and we're also working forward with our FDA licensing. It's going to be we're working to have that completed by or submitted by the end of this year. That's another major milestone, and just continuing to grow our sales here over the next 6 months and continue to show growth in that regard.
Well, thank you so much for the update, Brent. And for those of you who haven't looked up Voyageur Pharmaceuticals share price, I recommend you take a look at their stock chart and go to their website for more information. Thank you so much for joining us today, Brent.
Thank you.